Welcome. This video is designed to kind of explain a little bit about our geometry course here at Bear Creek because this year we're doing things a little bit differently. So one of the things I want to point out first is that our units this year are called modules, and all of the modules are 2 to 3 weeks long, and tests are always on Fridays. So one of the things I want to bring to your attention is we have at the beginning of each module, we have what's called a module overview sheet. And I put in parentheses here that it's also found in Schoology, and I'll explain Schoology in a minute. But I'm going to bring up a copy of an overview sheet. So at the beginning of a unit, your child will get something. So it says Module 10 Overview. You can see Module 10 focuses on trigonometry, and it lists out the lessons that we will be going over in this unit. You can see the next thing on the overview sheet is the practice sets. Well, you will also find those in the grade book. It'll say like Module 10, PS means practice set number 1. Generally, over a 2-week period, you would have 4 practice sets. If the unit is 3 weeks, you might have 5 or 6 practice sets. You can see when they're due, and the student can record their score when they get their assignment back. There's always a screenshot of a calendar. So you can see here on Monday we had no school. You can see that Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday was all devoted to the same lesson, the 8.3 in the book trigonometry lesson. You can see when the practice sets are due. And you can see that next on Friday, the 30th of January, there's what's called the Module 9B and the Module 10A test. And we will talk about what that means to have an A test and a B test on the same day. So every module has an A and a B test. And the B test can be thought of as the retake opportunity, except the fact is the difference is this year the retake is actually built into the class. So it's not so much an option anymore. The students will need to retain the information and demonstrate proficiency again, no matter what. But the idea is if a student does poorly on the A version of a test, so if I bring up, let's say they learn trigonometry for these 2 weeks and they take the 10A test and they do poorly, 2 weeks later they will see the 10B test and they will have an opportunity to replace their A test grade. So the way that works is there's something called an intervention check sheet, and it's found in classrooms and you can find it on Schoology. And it lists out step by step what your child would need to do in order to earn that opportunity to replace their A test grade. So let's say they do everything on the check sheet process, which involves making corrections, attending tutor rooms, things that we think they need to do to be successful. If they do that and then they get an improved grade on the B version of the test, we will go back and match their A test grade. So that's one of the things that we're offering this year. Another resource I want to point out that's new this year is what's called a Bear Creek Geometry homepage. And that is in a tool that's called Schoology, and you'll need to talk to your student about how to get into Schoology. And if your student is not currently enrolled in the Bear Creek Geometry homepage, which is like a course in Schoology, this is the access code they would need to do that. And there's directions on my website of how to get in there. But some of the things I want to point out, what Schoology is and what the Bear Creek homepage is it's basically our geometry class put online. So if your student misses a day, let's say that they know that they missed Monday's lesson, right here, Monday the 26th of January, and they missed angles of elevation and depression. What they can do is they can go into Schoology, they can print off a note-taking guide handout for that particular lesson, they can watch the videos, and they can take the notes that they missed. And then they can also try practice problems for each lesson. So they can kind of get some immediate feedback if they are doing things right. And if they aren't, they can go in and get help after taking the notes. You'll also find the unit overview sheets in Schoology, and the course calendar is always running in Schoology. So I'm going to pull that up here. So what's happening in Schoology is once you're enrolled in Schoology, there is a video of how exactly to use Schoology in here. But you can see that the calendar is over here. If a student were to miss a particular lesson, let's say they missed in the trigonometry unit, there's your overview. You've got, if you missed the lesson on trigonometry, let's say, you could go in there, print off the note-taking guide, go in and watch the vocabulary videos to fill out the note-taking guide, go in and try some of the practice problems, or I'm sorry, watch the videos of the practice problems. So you can see there's 6 videos to watch and take notes on. And then the next thing you would go to would be to practice some of the practice problems, which work in the form of like flashcards. And you can do the question and then you can flip over the. So the last thing I want to point out is opportunities to get help. And that would be after-school tutoring in the library on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is a great opportunity for your student to get help. There's also math tutor room every day, and they can check out of their study hall and go to that tutor room. So I always advise students who struggle in math to go in there and get their homework done on campus. Don't leave the homework for something to be done by themselves at home. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope that kind of helps you understand the layout of our class.